One of the most popular series on Netflix right now is Wednesday, and I'm going to be recreating Wednesday Addams' makeup look in today's video. Let's get started. Hey y'all, and welcome to my first full-length video of 2023. And I wanted to go ahead and jump right into this video and kind of give you a little backstory as to why I decided that I wanted to create Wednesday Addams makeup from the popular Netflix series Wednesday. It's because over the Christmas holiday break, my whole family and I decided to watch the Wednesday series on Netflix because we'd heard such great things about it. It was visually stunning. I loved Wednesday's makeup. Jenna Ortega is just like the most beautiful thing ever. Now, I want to go ahead and let you know that obviously I'm not as young as Jenna Ortega is. I believe she's like 20 years old, playing probably like a high school age girl as Wednesday, and I'm going to be 45 this year. So I'm going to do a Wednesday inspired makeup, but I want to make it kind of fresh, something that I would actually wear out and about, because after I recreate this look, I actually have to go get my daughter from middle school. So I want it to be something that's approachable, something that someone my age could actually wear. And I'm going to use some of my new favorite products, sprinkled in with a couple of older products that I love, and just try to recreate this whole look. So there are 3 elements to Wednesday Addams' look. The first would obviously be kind of pale, flawless skin, because again, she is supposed to be high school age and her skin is really, really beautiful in this series. So I'm going to make my skin look as good as possible, but it's supposed to be fresh faced and not overdone. The second element is obviously a smoky eye. Wednesday has kind of like a black rimmed eye, but again, not super fussy. There's no fake lashes, so none of that. It's going to be a very simple smoky eye. And then the third element is obviously a goth vampy lip, but not fussy, not overdone. It's more of like kind of like a sheer glossy vampy lip. So those are the 3 things that I need to nail today. So let's get started, and we're gonna just roll with it. We're gonna start with the first thing I talked about. We're gonna talk about skin. So with skin, I have already prepped my skin, and I use the Polish Choice. These are some new products that I was sent by Polish Choice. It's a PR gift, and I have really been loving them. It's their Calm series, the Polish Choice Rescue and Repair Intensive Moisturizer, and I use their repairing serum. So I've already applied both of those. Sometimes I don't really like to watch people applying skincare because you can't really see anything happening, but I've done the serum and the moisturizer. So now let's move on to skin. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and prep my eyelids so that they can get ready for eyeshadow. And I'm going to be using the Ulta Beauty Matte Eyelid Primer. This is one of my favorites lately. It's not super expensive, but it works just as good as all those higher end eyelid primers. And so I'm gonna apply that over both of my lids. We're gonna do it really simply with my fingers. So the thing about this Wednesday look, like that I said, it's very fresh faced. She is, supposed to be kind of mysterious and gothy in this series. But again, she's kind of young, youthful. She's not taking a whole lot of time to do her makeup. Like once you watch the series, you realize that that's her big thing is not putting on a bunch of makeup. It's just probably like a get up and go out the door type of thing. She's not gonna be real fussy with her makeup. So did the eyelid primer first. Now we're gonna go on to skin. I want it to be sheer, kind of like a tinted moisturizer look. So I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal True Match Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Serum, and I am going to do shade 3-4. Now, Wednesday is supposed to look very pale and a little bit sickly, but again, I want this to be something that's kind of wearable for someone my age, because I'm about to go out and about once I do this makeup look. So I'm gonna make it look slightly pale, but it's not gonna make me look super, super sick. But y'all know I have talked about this product before. It's really, really easy to apply and wear. You could actually put it on with just your fingers if you wanted to, but I'm a brush girl, so I'm going to actually apply it with a foundation brush. This is my Nisa Beauty Mini Pinnacle foundation brush. I love this thing. It comes in a full size, but I kind of prefer the little tinier size. It just gets kind of all in the crevices and the creases of the face. So we're gonna apply this all over just to give my skin a nice fresh face look. The thing is, with this tinted serum, you do want to make sure that your skin is nice and moisturized ahead of time so that the makeup doesn't sit and look cakey or flaky. So I have dry skin, so I have to add a lot of moisture to my skin anyway before I apply the makeup. And I have, the great thing about this Wednesday look, I didn't cut my bangs for this. If you're new to the channel, I've had bangs for almost 5 years. But I love Wednesday's bangs, and I'm like, oh, I could totally rock this Wednesday look because I already have the bangs and didn't have to cut them specifically for this video. So at least I had the hair in order. My hair's not as dark. I have the balayage, but you know, we're going with it. Okay, so there's the skin. Have on the tinted serum. Looks pretty good, not overdone. Again, we don't want this Wednesday Addams look to be too fussy. Now I am gonna go in with some concealer because I'm almost 45. Again, I am not 20, and I actually don't want to walk around looking like I have dark circles. That's just not for me. So we are gonna hit the under eyes with a little bit of concealer. So today I'm going to be using the Revolution Eye Bright Illuminating Under Eye Concealer, and this color that I'm going to be using today is light. So this is supposed to be, I actually recently got this just a few weeks ago. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury eye brightening wand. So I actually don't know if it is because I don't own hers yet. I'm sure I'll buy it and try it. But I went ahead and bought this one because it was pretty inexpensive, and I have been enjoying it. I've been wearing it a good bit lately. So we're just gonna apply that right under the eyes, and then just buff that in with a concealer brush. And I do like this because it does give a bit of glow to the under eyes, but looks really, really healthy, not super heavy. And I always have one under eye that seems a little bit more dark set than the other one. Does anybody else have that problem? My right one always looks a little bit darker than the left eye. So once I have hit my under eyes with my concealer, I will always, pretty much always, add a little bit of setting powder underneath. So I'm going to be going in with my tried and true Laura Mercier translucent loose powder. Y'all know I just love this stuff so much. I'm going to use my little triangle sponge, and we're just going to hit that under eye to set that powder. Not to set that powder, we're gonna set that concealer with this powder. So I'm just gonna go in quickly right there. Okay, so for right now, we've got the base of our skin done. So now we're gonna move on to eye makeup. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, even though you can't really see my eyebrows very well, they are not filled in, so I do wanna fill them in. And I will be using the Morphe Micro Brow Pencil in color Cold Brew. Again, if you have been watching my channel for any length of time or following me on Instagram or my blog, y'all know that this Morphe eyebrow pencil is my go-to. Like, I own it in every single color because I like to have them available for when I actually work with makeup clients. And it comes in a ton of different colors. It is very, very similar to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Micro Brow Pencil, but literally less than half the cost. I think these things are like $9. But I love this brow pencil. It's so easy to use. I love that it has the spoolie on the end, so you can rake the product through the brows. So we got the first brow done. Now we'll go on to do the second brow. And usually if I want like a very realistic brow, I'm gonna do 2 different colors to fill in my eyebrows. I usually use one that's the exact color of the hair on my brows, and then one that's lighter, just for realism, because most of the hair on our head is not one specific color. So if you use 2 colors on your eyebrows, it looks more realistic, but for today we're going very unfussy and pretty simple. So I'm just going in with the Cold Brew color, which is pretty much spot on to my actual eyebrow color. And again, with Wednesday's look, I didn't really see her brows a whole lot in the series, but you know they're there. And they need to be nice and full, because most of times a youthful look is going to be a fuller brow. It's not going to be a skinny old lady brow. So I like for my skinny old lady brows to look fuller, so that's why I fill them in with the pencil. Okay, so we've done brows. Now we're gonna move on to the eye makeup. Now, since I've already done my eyelid primer, we're gonna go in with some shadows. I'm gonna be using the ColourPop Stone Cold Fox palette. I love this thing. I bought this a couple months ago, back at the beginning of winter, It's got some warmer browns in it, but it also has some cooler browns and grays and that sort of thing. So when I did a little bit of research about Wednesday's makeup look, I think that her makeup artist used 3 different MAC eyeshadow shades, which oddly I don't have. I own some MAC shadows, but I think it was one called Carbon, which I'd heard of before, like a matte black, and then Glitch in the Matrix, which is kind of like a shimmery black, which I looked through a lot of my shadow palettes and most of my black shadows are all matte. So I'm gonna have to mix up some things. So let's start off with first, after reading through how her makeup artist did it, she put a little bit of warm brown just in the crease. So I'm just gonna take a couple of these warm browns. Let's see, we're gonna take this one and this one. We're gonna start with those 2. Right here and right here. And we're just gonna go right in the crease of the eye bed. Oh, that doesn't really show up. We're gonna go a little bit darker. I'm gonna go this brown color. And so when you take your crease color, you take it kind of further in to the nose, which I don't usually do. I usually keep it pretty light on the interior, but I am gonna kind of darken this up just a tad to warm up the inside of the eye bed. So just a little bit of that brown with a fluffy brush to give my eye bed some dimension. And then we are going to go in with some black shadow, and I'm gonna switch to a little bitty tiny eyeliner brush because I don't think that she had a ton of like actual eyeliner, no like heavy eyeliner. It was more of like shadowy type look. So I'm gonna go in with this rock bottom color, which is like really super black right there. And I'm just gonna take my eyeliner brush. Now this is probably gonna get messy, so I'm gonna get a Kleenex. We're gonna go, this is why I usually do my eye makeup first and then my skin second, because I don't want any fallout in the makeup, but I've kind of done it backwards today. That's okay. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna hold this underneath my eyelid. We're just gonna go slightly along the lash line with this matte black. Now I think that she did have a little bit of shimmery black also added, so we might do that underneath the eye, but I'm just going to slightly wing this shadow out on the upper lash line. And I think the key to recreating something like this with Wednesday is to make it more imperfect. Like, you don't want it to be super perfect. It should be smudgy and quick. And that is really imperfect because that's gonna drive me crazy. It can't be that imperfect. So I gotta go back over, kind of smooth this out a little. But I do like the idea of not doing like a harsh eyeliner on top, because at my age, being in my 40s, anything harsh is going to make me look older. Everything soft gives a more youthful vibe. So that's good on top. On my right eye, we're gonna go over here to the left eye. I'm gonna do the same thing. We're gonna start smudging out that lash line with this matte black. And if you don't own this eyeshadow palette, it is a fairly new purchase, like a couple months ago. I highly suggest it because it's got a good mix of warm and cool browns, and all these neutrals are just so pretty, and some really good shimmers. I mean, I'm not gonna use a whole lot of shimmer today for this look, but it does have some really great neutral shimmers in it that I feel like everybody could wear. So I'm gonna take this eyeliner all the way into my tear duct, and I'm making it a little bit fuller on the outer corners. And I went a little aggressive with that wing, so we're gonna go over here. We're gonna do the same thing with the right eye. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a soft, smoky wing. And kind of drag that out. Okay, and before I go underneath, I am going to use a black pencil, and I'm going to tight line the upper lash line. I'm not gonna go on top of the lash line. I'm gonna go underneath just to really black out that area, which is a lot easier to do than doing it on the upper eyelid. And I'm gonna be using the Pixie Beauty Endless Silky Eye Pen in black. I love these eyeliner pencils from Pixie. They're very affordable and they're very inky and very pigmented, and they come in so many different good colors. But today I'm just gonna be using black, and I'm just gonna be taking it right underneath that waterline. And I'm just gonna do the upper lash line with this because Jenna Ortega's, she has really big brown eyes, and I think that leads to, one of the great things about her character is you kind of get sucked into staring at her just because A, she's so pretty, but she has this like magnetic stare, but she has these really big brown eyes. So in order to keep my eyes from not receding and looking too dark and small, I'm just gonna keep the black on the upper lash line, and then I'm going to take a peach eyeliner pencil. This one is by LA Girl Ultimate Eye Intense Stay Auto Liner in Super Bright. It's just like a peach nude color. And I'm gonna take this and put this on the lower inner waterline to create a larger looking eye, because it's gonna make the whites of my eyes look whiter, because I'm not doing black on the top and the bottom, which kind of recedes and makes eyes look smaller. Just sticking with the black on the top and then doing the Super Bright on the interior of the lower lash line. And again, I love doing this anyway, just to make the whites of my eyes look bigger. I typically always want my eyes to look bigger if possible. Okay, so those are your two eyeliners that you're gonna use. And then before we do mascara, I do want to do a little bit of shadow underneath. She had a little bit of darkness about 3/4 of the way along her lower lash line. So this is where I'm gonna add a little bit of shimmer. I'm gonna do this black shade right here with this kind of gray metallic shade. Let's see if I can show it over here. I'm gonna mix the black with this more kind of metallic gray shade. So I'm just gonna take the same eyeliner brush, kind of go back and forth. Now, whenever you use shimmers, you're probably gonna get some fallout. So I'm gonna go underneath the lash line and put that Kleenex back under there. And then I'm just gonna lightly drag that shadow along the lower lash line. Mainly focusing on the outer corners of the eye bed. Add a little bit more shimmer. There we go. So there's one eye done. Let's go to the next one. That's the great thing about shadow palettes. You don't have to take them literally. It's more fun if you mix them up. So I typically do mix more than one color of eyeshadow together when I apply it. So 3/4 of the way along the lash line here. Buff that out a little more. I do like the little bit of shimmer that the glitter has in this shadow. All right, I'm gonna take a Q-tip, kind of clean this up a little bit so that eyeliner is not so fat at the end. This is one of my favorite tricks. Take a Q-tip, one of the best beauty tools ever, and just go underneath that lash line. If you want to make your wing a little bit thinner, clean it up, whatever, just kind of go underneath, follow the contour of the lower lash line, and just clean up that wing. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in with a crease brush, and I'm gonna take a little bit of the same gray shimmer that I added underneath, and I'm gonna pop it right there in the crease, just to give us a little bit more fun, a little more edge. There we go, just right there in the outer corners of the eye bed. So I'm popping it right on top of that brown, just a little bit of gray shimmer. It's more of like a taupe shimmer more than a gray. Okay. And then just really blur out those edges with your brush. All right, so there is the eyeshadow look. Now, of course, we have to add mascara. And I'm actually going to use a brand new PR gift that I just got. This is from Give Beauty. Give Beauty is Gwen Stefani's makeup brand. And it's the Can't Stop Staring Mascara. And it kind of resembles a Wednesday type product with the black and the white. It's got a little small rounded tip, so it's really easy to get all those little bitty tiny baby lashes. So I've already curled my lashes, so I'm gonna go in with this lengthening and lifting mascara. She seems to wear a good bit of mascara in the show, so we're just gonna kind of pile this on, and I love mascara anyway. We're gonna do the upper and the lower eyelashes. And this color is very black. I typically only wear black mascara anyway, so that works for this Wednesday look. Just want to get as close to that bottom lash line as possible. And then rake this product up. This mascara is pretty awesome, I gotta say. And I don't typically go for a whole lot of prestige mascaras. I kind of usually tell people that that's not where you should spend your money, because you should be replacing your mascara so often. But after using this one and seeing what kind of lashes it gives me, I might have to change my mind for 2023. I'm gonna go back in at those inner corners and see this little rounded tip. You can take it and really get in with those lower lashes too. It's just very easy to apply, because sometimes the wands are way too big and chunky that it's hard to get those lower lashes because you end up getting mascara all over your face. But this one, with the little rounded tip, you can just get right in there and get all those little baby lashes without getting mascara all over your face. So that's a huge win. All right. So that's about 2 coats of the Can't Stop Staring mascara. Looks pretty good too, I must say. I'm kind of into this slightly smoky goth eye. And it's only midday. I get to go to middle school after this. Okay, so there is eye makeup. I think that looks pretty good, very Wednesday-ish. Now, for Wednesday, she definitely was not wearing like blush, but like I said, this is my modern take on it. This needs to be a Wednesday look that I can leave the house with. So I'm gonna do a little bit of contouring with some light bronzer, and I'm gonna be using the Park Avenue Princess Tarte bronzer. It's very, very light. It's more for like fair skin. And I'm just gonna pop that underneath my cheekbones to kind of create and sculpt some cheekbones, because Jenna Ortega has some amazing bone structure, and give me a little bit of shading and contour. And then we're gonna go up underneath the chin, sculpt that out a little bit. So I don't need to be super bronzy, but I'm just more trying to give myself more bone structure and dimension. So, okay, that should be good enough for that. I am going to apply some blush. Probably feels very un-Wednesday-ish, but that's all right. I gotta have a little bit of color in this face. So I'm gonna be using the Milani Baked Blush in Rose Doro. So I own a lot of Milani Baked blushes. I have Luminoso, which is very popular, and I have another pink color. So this is a color that I just bought. It's more of like a bronzy terracotta shade, I guess you could say. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of that on my cheeks. Very, very little. Do a little on the nose. Now, one thing that's talked about a lot when I've looked over some makeup vibes from the Wednesday series, one of the big things is Jenna Ortega's freckles that they put on her. So freckles is a very youthful look. I'm going to give it a shot after I do the lips, because fake freckles intimidates me, but I know it's kind of like a big trend that people that don't have freckles try to apply freckles, and she has freckles in the show. So we're gonna do that after I do the lips. Let me nail the lips first. So with the lips, the shade that her makeup artist used is the MAC lip pencil in Night Moth, I believe, is the color of the lip liner. It's kind of like a blackened plum color. And I realized that I actually don't have a lip liner that color, so I'm gonna blend another lip liner and a lip oil to kind of get that blackened plum vibe. So I'm going to use the Buxom lip liner, and this color is called Creamy Chocolate. And then I'm gonna use the Merit Beauty lip oil, and Sangria is the color of the Merit Beauty lip oil, and I love the way this stuff feels. Okay, so we're actually gonna do the lip oil first and then the lip liner second. So we're gonna go just a little bit to tint the lips, because it's not supposed to be super heavy. Her look is not matte or opaque. Hers is very kind of glossy in the series. I think this looks pretty good. It Kind of looks very similar to the Night Moth. So her makeup artist used the Night Moth pencil and then apparently added like a lip balm on top, just like a clear one to give it kind of that fresh glossy look. So for me, I probably could stop right here, but I'm gonna make it a little bit more goth and add the Creamy Chocolate Lip Pencil by Buxom. And I've got these in a couple colors. I love them because they've got like a little brush on the end so you can smudge them. So just gonna line the outer parts of my lip. And then I'm gonna use the brush side to buff it into the lip oil, just to give it a little bit of depth and dimension. Again, it's funny. Lip pencils are not one of those things that I tell people to spend a lot of money on. Like typically I'm like, yeah, just go drugstore for a lip pencil. Not a big like product category you should spend a lot of money on, until I got these Buxom lip liners with the included brush, and then I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of a difference maker. I do love the brush that's included. So just kind of buffing. It's really hard to do lips and talk at the same time. That's why it's taking me forever. So once you buff that in, I'm gonna add a little bit more of the Merit Beauty lip oil. Just to make them a little darker. Okay, so we're gonna give, this is pretty much it. Like that was pretty quick for me for a makeup look inspiration, but like I said, she has freckles in the show, and that's what gives her that youthful kind of high schooler vibe, I guess you could say. Because even though she's very mysterious and she's very strong-willed and she's just like the most awesome character, she does have a, I don't want to give it away, but as you watch the series, you can see her sensitive side come out. So we want to give her these cute, sweet freckles. So I'm just going to use the same chocolate lip liner by Buxom and see if I can do this without completely messing up the whole freckle idea. So what I've seen people do is typically just do them across the bridge of the nose. And then you want to take your finger and press the brown. Hopefully this doesn't make me look like I have acne or anything. Just press your finger into the brown dots. And she really just has them right kind of at the front part of the face. And then you just use your finger to kind of press it in and make it look more realistic, like real freckles. Ooh, that one got aggressive. Oh my. Hold on. Whoa. All right, so it's okay. Very easily fixable with a Q-tip. Like I said, one of my favorite beauty tools. So with freckles, I guess they should just kind of look a little haphazard everywhere. That one got aggressive as well. So left side of my face, those freckles are really dark. So we're gonna go in with this Q-tip and try to fix that. I'm gonna go ahead and say that less is more with the whole fake freckles thing. If you don't really have them and you're trying to pull this off, let's just go a few. How does that look on camera when you're looking at me? Do they look real, or does it look like I've like messed up my makeup? Ooh, I'm getting a, ooh, you don't like the way that looks? My husband, who's my cameraman, is going like, ooh, I don't know if that works. He's making a motion to pat. So basically I should just wipe it off and should probably not have bothered with the freckles. Maybe I should just have, decided not to go with that. How does that look? Does that look better? Better? All right, we're gonna take a little bit of more of my Laura Mercier loose powder. We're just gonna kind of go over that so that it almost looks like I didn't even try to do that. It's okay. It's a great thing about makeup is you can just try to fix the little things that didn't quite work out as planned. So yeah, I think that that's probably best. That look good? All right, so there we have it. There is my finished Wednesday inspired makeup look that I actually think that I'm not gonna embarrass my middle schooler when I go pick her up from school. What do you think? Not gonna embarrass her? Now, I don't ever wear braided pigtails, so I might have to forego those. But for right now, oh, okay. Husband's telling me to own the pigtails. All right, so there you have it. Wednesday Addams, but make it modern, make it wearable, make it more for the mature 40-year-old woman, but I like it. It's just like a very easy smoky eye, very flawless, kind of bright skin, and then do kind of like a sheer goth lip. So those are the 3 elements that you need to do to nail it. So I will link all of these products that I have used today in the description box below this video if you're interested in checking them out. Some of the newer products like the Gwen Stefani mascara, I would say, might want to go check this out. I think it's like 20 bucks, which is not super bad for a prestige mascara. And anything else that you see that you like the way this looked on my Wednesday Addams makeup look, it'll be all linked below. And so if you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would love for you to do so. I would love you to be a part of my Jenny Sue Makeup family. Oh, and I didn't do this on purpose. I mean, maybe I did, but I painted my nails probably a few days ago before I decided to do this video, and I painted them black, kind of like Wednesday has in the series. And this is Essie Licorice is the color if you're interested in a black nail polish. It's really pretty and very, very inky. So, but thank y'all for being here. If you have any questions or comments, or let me know if you've watched Wednesday, what did you think? Did you like it? Are you gonna go watch it? I would love to hear in the comments below. But thanks for sticking around and watching this video, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.